What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, guys, before we get started, guys, I want to apologize, guys, because as you guys can see, FCB show was very late. We're almost an hour late, guys. And unfortunately, guys, it is actually on me, guys. I've been having a very long day, guys. So I literally just got home. I didn't expect to be this late, but appreciate every single one of you guys who has turned up here today, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make big up to my guy Liam, man. Liam, man. Sorry to be late, bro. How you doing, brother?
It's good, man. It's fine. Don't worry. Yeah, man. I was just streaming,
Yeah,
just talking about Leroy Sané news. So I'm sure we're going to talk
yeah.
about that going on into the stream. But yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. Big up to every single one of you guys. Big up. Appreciate you for the raid. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and as Liam just mentioned, man, we're gonna talk about it, man. Because yeah, I'm sure he's not exactly in a very good mood. You know, that's not news that you'll ever hear. But listen, we do have some good news added. You know, out of the part of the bad news, there's some few good news have actually come out of Bayern Munich. I don't know if you've mentioned it, but we would talk about it in this stream. Big up to every single one of you guys. Let me read some of you guys who are already here. Big up to my guy Cooper. Big up to Liam. Obviously, appreciate you for being here. Big up to Bayern fan over here. Big up to you. Big up to Lee Guna. Big up to every single one of you guys who are here. Big up to my guy Kareem. What's going on, brother? Big up to Rory Jennings. Rory Jennings is actually here, man. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys for being here. But listen, let's get into it, man. Since you were just talking about it, let's just get into it very quickly. Big up to my brother Warrior J. Warrior J, man. Yeah, I'm very late today, man. Very busy, man. So many things were happening. But listen, let's get into it. Obviously, we're gonna end with the El Clásico preview as far as that is concerned. But let's just start, from what you just mentioned in the news, right? Leroy Sané. We knew because this has actually been something that's been in the works now for a while. Even though you've not been happy about it, but it really seems that it seems like now it's almost confirmed. I mean, I think it's confirmed now, right? So the 3-year deal has been signed now, or is it about to be
It's
confirmed?
the end of the week, I think, or next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good news obviously for a lot of Bayern fans who watch because, I'm not gonna lie, I've been keeping my eye on him recently. He's been poor. His performance has been poor. He looked like he was gonna be out of the door, but now out of nowhere, now he's just signed this new 3-year deal. I mean, I don't know what he did to earn it, but hey, I will let Liam tell me. I mean, Liam, man, we knew it was going to happen, obviously. I mean, because it's been in the works. But now that it's all but confirmed, man, how are you feeling about this, bro?
I just feel like people don't really understand that this sets our club back. That would be the only thing I really, it does. It sets the club back. Time, where we could go and get some young players or something, or youth could come in or whatever. But yeah, I just think the board know that they're not going to be able to sell him for a lot of money. So instead, why not keep him? And that's in itself shows what's wrong with Bayern Munich and why the mentality of Bayern Munich has gone from winning Champions Leagues and if you don't win us this or that, you get sacked to
Yes.
mediocre BS being allowed, which is never a good thing, obviously.
No, I mean, here's the thing, right? You just mentioned it. See, this is the thing. As somebody who's obviously a football fan, and you're right. At the end of the day, seeing someone who's been watching Bayern Munich now for a very long time, it's so strange seeing the way your club has been moving recently because this is not a move that the Bayern Munich I knew would go for. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because you guys were very good at. You guys always knew, like you were not afraid to get rid of players. You weren't afraid to push buttons to be like, all right, cool. You don't want to be here, all right, man. There's the door. You understand what I'm saying, right? And it makes no sense to me why you keep a player who, let's be real, right? He turns up when he wants to turn up, and then that's literally very rare that he actually wants to turn up, right?
Yeah.
He's been here now for 5 years, right? You guys spent a hell amount of money on him, and for 5 years, he's not really brought anything back in return, right? And you're gonna be giving him. I think is he gonna have a wage increase? I'm sure he is, right?
No,
Probably gonna have a wage
so
potentially.
basically, at this current time, before the contract is signed, he is on 15
Yes.
million fixed, with 5 million in add-ons, so that going up to 20 million. So it's going to be 10 million fixed with 5 million in add-ons. So they basically just taking away 5 million of his wages.
I mean, even still 15 million for that. Still, that sounds like highway robbery. Let's be real. I don't think there was any club that was ever gonna pay him that. Let's
Nope.
be real. Like nobody is stupid enough to pay that for him. But it makes no sense. Like you just mentioned it. It really makes no sense why you guys would go, give him this deal after really not producing anything. But I mean, it's poor. I mean, 3 years now of dealing with this. I mean, I don't see how this is gonna improve. Like that's the thing. And that's the worst thing about this, right? Like, because you're just looking at it, and you're just like, oh, if he didn't produce anything in the past few years, what makes you guys think he's going to produce anything now? You understand what I'm saying? Like now, because he's just gotten the contract, so he's just going to get the bag. That's really it. That's really it in the end, right? It really makes no sense at all. But tell me what you guys are saying in the comment section. It says, Omar, you can play in midfield for Bayern. Can you play in midfield for Bayern? I'm not a midfielder, brother. Big up to my guy Veltran says this team has not made a single excuse. What do you say about that? He says has not made a single excuse about what?
I don't really understand.
I don't get it either. I mean, yeah, but he says Veltran says Muller looks exhausted and he is a legend. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. It says you can't have Muller and Wirtz. I'm sorry. I mean, you can't. You can. I mean, we're gonna definitely get into the Wirtz thing because he seems like he's the one that's gonna replace Muller next season. Which, let's be real, right? Imagine having Musiala and Wirtz in your team. Like I'm not gonna lie, that would actually be a smart move to make, which is something very rare for your club to do, right? You guys do go for some good moves here and there, but let's be real, some of your moves make no sense, right? Where you spend some money on a guy like, I don't know, Eric Dyer, you go and buy an Olise. So you buy a good deal and then you cover it up with a bad deal. It makes no sense. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna quickly move on because I actually do have some good news. Obviously, I don't know. I'm sure you've already heard of it because a lot of these news don't really escape you. But Max Eberl, the Peter Griffin looking guy that you and Zier have been, obviously you guys are big fans of him. We all know. I mean, big fan. Let's be real, man. You guys are huge fans of him. But listen, he's been on the news recently. He has been on the news, Liam, because it seems that the club is not exactly happy with him right now. So the news that's actually been coming out, it's that apparently the deal that you guys offer for Alphonso Davies, right? They're not really happy about. I don't think they're happy with. It's not the extension that they're not happy with. I think they're not happy with the fact that basically you guys bent over backwards and you basically gave him too much money. That's what the club basically feels. And apparently this has been brewing now for a while because they've not really been liking some of the decision making that Max Eberl has been making recently, right? So because of this now, they're saying that apparently he is at the cusp. That's the word they've used. They're saying he's in the cusp of, I guess, getting sacked, right? Apparently that's the word coming out in Bayern Munich, right? So he seems like he's under pressure. As someone who's basically been, advocating for this guy to be gone, how do you feel hearing this news?
It's step one, isn't it? Of course, it's a good thing, but at the same time, the other frauds need to go as well. Because if you're only getting rid of one of the frauds, then, he is. Don't get it twisted. He's a massive, massive issue at the club. He really is. But at the same time, so are the other frauds. And who's going to replace him? This is the problem. So I know that they were looking at various people, but I don't know. That's the problem, isn't it? Are they going to be able to bring somebody in that is going to, be a good replacement? Now, don't get it twisted. It wouldn't take much to replace him. I'm not trying to say that as in that he's good, because he's definitely not. He's terrible, but
no.
Yeah, that would be my argument in that aspect. Who are they going to replace him with?
I mean, I hear that, but wouldn't you say like this is like the first big step for you guys, because you have been trying to get rid of him?
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
So, because you guys have really been advocating for him to be gone, because you guys have not been liking some of the decisions he's been making, for sure. But so in your mind, you think that this is just like it's the first big step, but also what is the plan to do? So basically, you're more worried because you don't know how the club are going to be they're going to deal with this, right? Because they might just replace him with another terrible person. Basically, is that what you're worried about?
Yeah, because like he's obviously a yes man, just like Freer and just like Dries and the other two. And for me personally, the whole of the board need to go, not just Eberl, and I mean everyone. Even Hunis and Rummenigge need to go as well. Obviously, the likelihood of that's not, but like basically from the way I'm seeing it, it's good. Get rid of him because he's not good enough. But at the same time, like they're just going to look for another puppet, And my thing would be if someone was to counter argue that and say, nah, they're looking for this, then prove me wrong, because that's the way I see it. I feel like they're looking and they're going to get another puppet personally.
No, I hear it 100%. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I don't like this guy. I feel like he's done so much damage in the past few seasons, right? With some of the decision making he's making, right? People are using the Davies thing as an example, but I feel like with Davies is different, because Davies is actually someone who actually has been one of your better players. You understand what I'm saying, right? This season, right? So you can understand, cool. Well, listen, he's actually one of the players that actually been turning up since the start of the season. So it's different. I feel like if there's any deal that should make the club be angry, it probably should have been the Leroy Sané deal, because it's just like at the end of the day, like why would you give him all this money if he's not really done anything to earn it? You understand what I'm saying? Like usually when it comes to contracts, you earn your contract. It's that simple, right? At the end of the day, what has he done to earn this crazy deal? You understand what I'm saying, right? But listen, at the end of the day, this Max Eberl guy, if he's been responsible for all the signings you guys have been having recently, it's not good enough. I mean, he's the one that's in charge of hiring managers too, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So it was him. So was it during his reign that Tuchel came in, or was that Oliver Kahn?
That was Oliver Kahn, but he was the guy. He was the guy that rejected Flick to get company.
So that's another big. I mean, that's also the thing. I feel like because obviously the club are going to be looking at what Flick has been doing at Barca, and they're going to be thinking, brother, we had a chance to bring this guy back, and you basically went against it. And now this guy is potentially about to win his second treble in his managerial career. Like, look at where we are right now, and look at where Barca are, where Barca were last season to where they are now. If he could do that in just a season, what could he have done with our team? Well, let's be real. At the start of the season, not a lot of people were saying that Barca had a better team than Bayern before a ball was kicked at the start of the season. Let's be real. Like, I know maybe some Bayern fans might say, well, listen, we knew our team wasn't good enough and all of this. But, bro, were you guys looking at Barca thinking that we were going to be one of the best teams in Europe this season at the start of the season? No. Because you've seen us the past 2 seasons been bottling it in Europe, being European flops. Every time we went against Bayern, meaning we were getting battered pillar to post. You understand what I'm saying? So you guys were not worried about us at the start of the season. You were more worried about teams like City and Real Madrid than worrying about Barcelona. You understand what I'm saying, right? So that is Hansi Flick who did that, right? And you had an opportunity to bring him back. And let's be clear. This guy, if he had came back to Bayern, it's not like he's coming back to a completely different new team. This is basically some of the players he basically left when he left the club, right? Guys like Kimmich, guys like Leroy Sané, Gnabry, right? The only place he doesn't have are guys like Lewandowski, but he has Harry Kane. You understand what I'm saying? And then you said, no, I'm gonna go for a guy who just got relegated with Burnley. Like this is the issue here. At the end of the day, when it comes to company can become a great manager. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the potential, right? I'm not saying he doesn't have the potential to be the great manager. I truly believe that he can be. However, we have to keep it 100% here. We are only judging this based on what? Potential. And the thing with potential is that guys like Scott Parker. Scott Parker had potential. You understand what I'm saying? Would you hire that guy by Bayern Munich? Absolutely not. You understand what I'm saying? Frank Lampard, he was another one that people said had potential when he was at Chelsea. Guess what? You wouldn't hire him. So the same thing applies to company. Company needed to prove why he deserved the Bayern Munich job. He needed to take another job somewhere else, preferably a club that wasn't fighting for relegation, maybe mid-table or something like that. Let's see you try to take this team to Europe. You see how Emery has been doing at Villa when he took over Villa, right? He took Villa from a team that was fighting relegation with Steven Gerrard, took them steady mid-table, top 4. I mean, look at his progress, right? First season, relegation zone. Second season, he finished like Europe, I think Conference League or something like that, right? Second season. Third season, he was in top 4. Now look at him. He's about to finish top 4 back to back and has taken them to a quarterfinals of a Champions League. That is how you build your resume. A guy like Emery can attract a club like Bayern, because Bayern will say, well, listen, man, look at what he's been doing. Look at what he's done to Villa. If he can do that with Villa, what can he do with us? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying you guys should go for Emery, but remember, that's my point. That's how you basically build a track record. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem for me when it comes to company. This is all potential. This is all a bunch of like potential. People, you know what it is, Liam? It's the Ateta. It's the Ateta. What's the name? It's the Ateta tax. That's what it is. The Ateta tax, because you saw Arsenal do it, so everybody now wants to do what Arsenal are doing. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because Arsenal were like, "Hi, we're gonna believe in this young coach who, let's be real, hasn't won anything." People are looking at him in the semifinals thinking, "Listen, until he wins the Champions League, he hasn't proved anyone wrong." I don't know why everybody's just sitting here kissing up to this guy. You feel me? The same thing applies with company, because we don't know how good company is gonna be. He could just be a waste of time at the end of the day. So Max Eberl should have done better. You should have been smarter. You should have said, listen, because Bayern Munich don't do the potential managers thing. Let's be real. Every manager you guys have ever hired has either been a club legend or it's a manager that's actually either been doing well in the Bundesliga. Like, you guys would have looked at the next big thing in the league. Like when you guys brought in Nagelsmann. You knew Nagelsmann was the next big thing in German football as managers. So guess what? You paid Leipzig to bring in Nagelsmann. And that is what the Bayern Munich, the small Bayern Munich used to do. Because they were like, listen, we get the best things out of our league. Whether it's a player or a manager, we get them before everyone gets them. And then that's what I'm saying, man. At the end of the day, I can see why he's under pressure. And listen, in my mind, bro, you've done too much damage in the 2 seasons you've been here, bro. Like, you've done so much damage. You deserve to be sacked. I'm sorry. You see me calling out Deco, and Deco has only been here for what? A season and a half? Imagine if I had Max Eberl, bro. Nah, bro. My head would have been gone by this point. For sure. But big up to every single one of you guys in the chat, man. It says, I'm glad I'm missing out on talking about that prick Sané. Hey, listen, man. You don't worry, man. But big up to my guy. Big up to Zier, man. Big up. Make sure you guys smash up that like button, man. He says, Veldrin. Is Veldrin a Bayern Munich fan? Because I think I see him on your channel. Is he a Bayern fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying Sané has a Champions League. Mbappe does not. Sané doesn't have a Champions League. What is he talking about? This guy. He joined you guys after you won the Champions League, my friends. He says, well, Barcelona are the most corrupt club in football. But yeah, whatever, bro. You absolute fraud. Yeah, these guys, man. Well, big up to my guy NT. Big up to you, man. It says, like the hair do understand. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Thanks for the compliment. These guys, man. I knew my hair would get a lot of attention. I'm not surprised. He says, yeah, I did think Barca would be better than Bayern. Bayern have a better I did think Bayern would be better than Barca would be better than Bayern. Bayern's squad and manager company are shit. Never rated company. Well, okay, so Liam, where did you stand at the start of the season? Were you thinking that you guys would be better? Like when you looked at both of our clubs, both Barca and Bayern at the time, were you thinking at the start of the season, did you think, oh, we were going to be better? Or were you just thinking, I mean, they're not squad for squad. They're not that better than us. They were not good last season. So why should I be worried about them?
Yeah, like for me personally, the way I seen it was like, let's see what company can do. Like he literally just got relegated with Burnley, so I don't understand why he got the job. But let's see what he can do because they're going with that direction anyway. There's not really much us fans can do in that aspect. And I wanted to know what I knew that Flick would be good, but my thing was more, can Flick get these players to be good? The manager can be a good manager, but if he can't get certain dead ballers, if you want to call them that, to be good, then it's not going to do anything. I knew that Lewandowski would score goals because he does anyway. No matter with Flick, without Flick, he's always going to score goals. He's a good striker.
Yes.
And then obviously Yamal has come in and he's done amazing. And then obviously Rafinha. Like, I think Rafinha, if I'm right by saying, was good at the end of the season, if I'm right by saying. And then Flick better.
The thing with Rafinha was, you know how I look at Rafinha? If there's a player I would compare Rafinha to, honestly, I would compare him to Sané, to be honest. Because I was at that point with Rafinha at the start of the season. I was just like, bro, honestly, bro, if we get an offer from Saudi, bro, get rid of this guy. You understand what I'm saying? Where he had his moments at the club, but brother, his moments were few and far between. You understand what I'm saying, right? So it's like if Flick came back to Bayern and then Sané just started firing like crazy. You understand what I'm saying? You'll be like, well, I knew you had it in you, but you never showed it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was my frustration. So yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, to be honest, that is my point. The only thing I would say, other than that, is what's gonna push on, but like to rate the squads, it's a bit difficult, isn't it? I'd say I would say we had a better squad than you. Looking at in my head. You've got a good player in Pedri, Yamal. Obviously Rafinha wasn't what he is now. Lewandowski. Yeah, I would say we had a better squad than you, but hey, man, it is what it is, isn't it? I didn't think that. At the start of the season, I wouldn't have said that Arsenal would knock Real Madrid out, and look, they have. So.
Facts. That's 100%. I mean, let's be real. When they signed Mbappe, everybody thought they were going to absolutely dominate Europe. I mean, even though I didn't. I'll be honest. I'll be the first one to admit I did not. I was not worried about Mbappe joining. I told people that Mbappe joining would not help them as much as they think it will. Like, I've been here too many times. But big up to Ziad. Ziad says, well, Bayern got rejected by every man in his dog. To be fair, this is actually true, Liam. Let's be real. Right? You guys did get. I mean, there was before company. I think you guys were trying to get in Ten Hag as well. You guys did. I think tried to reach out to Rangnick with Austria. You tried to convince Tuchel to stay. You remember the club tried to. You understand what I'm saying, right? Nagelsmann, I'm not too sure. I don't think I don't know if the Nagelsmann is true, but I know the Ten Hag, Rangnick, and Tuchel ones was actually, it had legs in it, right? Because Ten Hag was one of those people that you guys were. You were not really talking to him yet, but the links were there. You understand what I'm saying? The links were there. Rangnick, I think you guys did reach out and he said no. And Tuchel, you guys did try to convince him to come. At the end of the season, you guys did try to convince him to stay, and he was the one that actually said he was leaving, right?
Yeah.
And I think you were very pissed off about that. Yeah, go ahead.
The Tuchel one, Tuchel wanted a new 3-year deal, and they were only offering him a year extension.
I hear it.
The Rangnick one, they were definitely looking at him. I never understood the Ten Hag one, and I never believed it. So I'm not really too sure if it is or isn't true. I know that he was at Bayern though, as a coach under Pep.
Yeah, as a assistant coach for Pep.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
And then. Yeah, we were linked with so many managers. Nagelsmann, we did reject because it was just before he signed with Germany, his brand new deal with Germany. And I believe, if I'm right by saying, the reason we didn't get him was because of Karl-Heinz Rummenigge said no to that deal. So that's why we didn't get him.
So, you know what? Obviously, you're a Bayern fan. I want to know: was there any legs to anything that they were saying around the time he was sacked? That apparently his wife, because I think his wife works for like a sports.
Oh, they're like as in like the
journalist.
stitch rumors.
Is that so? There's no confirm. There's no legs to stand on that.
No,
There has never been confirmation.
no,
That.
it's
So why is it that Karl-Heinz Rummenigge would reject the
I don't
idea of
know.
bringing him
I
back?
don't know. I think they wanted him to be more committed to the club. Don't ask. I don't understand why that would be the case when I thought he was committed anyway. But maybe they've seen something in the back room or something that we haven't seen. I don't know. But yeah, that whole thing got debunked when he left because things were still getting leaked, heavily leaked. So, me personally, I think it was Slamahimovic that was leaking things.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah.
And wait, so Slamahimovic has been gone. Is gone, right? Because he left, I think, this season after with Oliver Kahn,
Yeah, he
right?
got sacked on the pitch.
And then since then, things have kind of been quiet since he's been gone.
There's nothing coming out now. Yeah.
Well then. When you if you put it that way, then I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking good for my guy Slamahimovic, and that guy is a legend for your club, right? He played for Bayern back in the day. But yeah, it's a big up to my guy here. He says, "Now, company won't ever be a great manager. Overrated Pep Jr. from the same class as Super Duper Mick. Pep, he hyped is for real. He be giving average players like Mother Scout type managers. I mean, I highly disagree, man. Like, I think if anyone has had like terrible managers, a manager who's created terrible managers, probably Alex Ferguson, bro. That guy, his track record for having the amount of players who became managers under that guy, bro, and flopped is actually a joke. You see, who's like the best one of them? Like, that's actually like ridiculous when you think about it. Yeah. Says even if he wins the UCL, Super Duper Mick will still be our Di Matteo. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The hate on Arteta sometimes is crazy, but since winning UCL doesn't suddenly make you a good manager. I mean, listen, I hear that, but listen, at the end of the day, let's be real. It's your first Champions League if you win it. You feel me? First Champions League, and listen, I've said it before. I've said it again, Liam. The track record that your stadium has of creating new champions is not a good. Doesn't bode well for someone like me, because obviously, if you look, and the worst thing is, there's gonna be a team that's never won it in the final. It's guaranteed, because there's one side, it's two teams that have never won the thing that are gonna be playing. So, bro, I'm worried that this track record, man. I'm worried about this track record. So Sané in 2020, yeah, Sané came in 2020 after they won the Champions League. I don't know what. Yeah, he says he won it with Flick. He says, is that Balde or Omar? Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. These absolute frauds. I mean, all right. Listen, guys. I do want to quickly move on, Liam. Obviously, next thing I do want to talk about is some transfer news, right? Obviously, Florian Wirtz, right? You've seen that he's been linked to Bayern, but it seems that now the links have been getting more stronger recently. And apparently, I'm hearing the rumors that apparently his family, they're convinced that he might join Bayern Munich in the summer, right? First of all, how much let's be real, right? Because if it's not going to be easy to get him from Leverkusen, because Leverkusen are your rivals, title rivals in the league, right? So is literally selling their best players to you is not going to be, it's not going to go too well for them. But do you think that they're going to try to milk the hell out of the deal if you are going to sign him? Like, you guys are going to have to splash the cash to get him?
Realistically, yeah. Yeah. But for me personally, I just see I just see them trying to push him to City, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
That's what I see. But if his dad and his family want him to stay in Germany and he listens to them, then the thing is, they could try to rinse Bayern, but they're going to have no legs to stand on when it comes to if he pushes his way out of the club. Because if he pushes his way out of the club, and so he's not going to play there and so on, they, like I said, they've got no legs to stand on because otherwise they're going to eventually lose him. So, you know, how much I could see. This is the thing. If Eberl goes or not, he will not have any control on this deal. This deal is getting done by the two higher ups in Rummenigge and in Hornis. Both of those two are dealing with this personally. And that's always been why I've been so confident that we're going to get Wirtz. Because if you're like proper higher ups can't get a player in, then we ain't getting no players. Put it that way. Because they're both, especially if his dad and so on, they're German. These two people are German legends and Bayern Munich legends. They're not, they're not from England. They're not from Switzerland or this or that. They are from Germany,
right?
And they're iconic strikers in the league as well. They both scored over 100 goals for us. So, there's levels. So that's how I personally see it. But I just have an inkling they'll go to City. But there's also rumors of him going to Real Madrid, which I just don't see. Like, fair enough, if Xabi Alonso goes there, then I understand. Yeah, you want to bring your players and so on. But I just don't see where he would play because he ain't going to play in the 8. He isn't going to play in the 6. Obviously, he's an attacking player, and then like you're telling me you're going to put Wirtz over having someone like Vinicius or Mbappe. Like I just don't. The way Alonso plays, I don't see how he would fit them all in.
Unless I hear that. 100% hear that. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, no.
I mean, but so here's the thing. As far as that point is concerned, it's actually quite valid, to be perfectly honest, because I mean, the thing is, if Florian Wirtz, you're right. If he joins he's more of a 10. That's his best position, right? And the thing is, I feel like if he was to join Bayern, because we know Musiala can play out in the wings, right? I can see the club deciding to move Musiala out in the wings. And it's not like he's terrible in the wings. I feel like even in the wings, he cooks. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So, and also the thing is, you guys don't really have a lot of quality wingers. So imagine, right? You get Wirtz in the 10. You bring Musiala and Olise as the wingers. That bodes well. You understand what I'm saying, right? Like, you can't do any worse than that, to be perfectly honest, right? And let's be real, that would take Leroy Sané and what's his name, Gnabry, out of the team, right? And the thing with Gnabry is, I feel like he does more of his best work when he is actually like defending.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, on the bench. I meant on the bench. Sorry, guys. On the bench, right? I feel like that's where you see the best work out of this guy. So I think for me, it's not a bad idea to make. I mean, at the end of the day, this would be classic Bayern if it happened. It would be classic Bayern, right? Going out and buying the best players in your league. You understand what I'm saying, right? Doesn't matter how much they offer. You gotta understand, Bayern are ruthless. You understand what I'm saying? The old Bayern of old are very ruthless. They go out and they buy the best players in their league. They don't do this thing of, oh yeah, let's try to negotiate. No. It's like, the thing with Bayern is, I've said it before, Bayern don't even do negotiation. Like, it's very rare to hear Bayern Munich are in talks with this club over this player. It's either, like, I remember when you guys signed Götze, I was like, yo, when did these guys even start talking to Götze before they even signed him? You heard Madrid being linked, Arsenal being linked, everyone is just talking about Götze and everything else. And then These guys just said, you guys are talking to girls? All right, word. All right, cool. We are just going to go sign him. Simple, bro. We're not doing this whole negotiation and talking here. You guys we'll leave you guys to deal with that. We're good. Right? And then you guys signed him, right? Lewandowski. You guys signed Lewandowski in January of 2014. 2014, by February of 2014, it was already confirmed he was going to Bayern. And remember, it's not like you guys didn't even you guys had a death striker. You had Mandzukic who was scoring goals, and you still went and bought Lewandowski. You see my point, right? This is what Bayern was so good at, right? They were like, all right, well, listen, it doesn't matter if we have a good striker. If we have one of the best strikers in the world in the league and he's not playing for Bayern, we're gonna go get him. We're gonna go get him. You understand what I'm saying? And then even guys like Thiago, I remember when you guys signed Thiago from us, I remember just wondering, I was like, yo, what? When I heard that Thiago went to Bayern, I was like, bro, when did these guys even buy him? I didn't even hear any links. There was never links of, like, obviously I know Pep was the one that was like insisting on the deal, but you guys made that because we had like a buyout clause of like 90 million and you guys bought him for 30. I'm like, what? It turns out he actually had a loophole in his contract which basically stated if he didn't play a certain amount against, his buyout clause would go down, and then you guys found out and then got the buyout clause. That is my point. Bayern were that smart. They always knew what was going on with every club. You understand what I'm saying, right? So this whole negotiation talk, the Bayern and I know would never get into negotiation talk. They'll be like, oh, listen, Florian Wirtz, you want to join? Yeah, I want to join. All right, cool. No problem. We'll get it done. Give us some time. Let's talk to these guys. We'll get it done. You understand what I'm saying? But you guys do need him. I'll be honest with you, right? Because you guys definitely, I mean, let's be real. You guys, next season is going to be a complete reshuffling of the squad, right? There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of like players leaving, right? You've already talked about some of the players that are leaving. I mean, I know I saw you were talking to Gio recently. This Kim Min-jae thing, has it been quiet recently, or has it still been having a lot of like legs to it?
Yeah, he's now being linked to Saudi.
Not to Al Hilal, is it?
It just said Saudi League. It didn't say any. Mate, if it was
Bro,
Al Hilal,
please let it be Al Hilal, bro. Let it be Al Hilal, because I promise you, we will be here when Al Hilal signed Kim Min-jae, bro. The crash out that Zir is going to have on his channel, bro. Oh my God. I mean, I know you're an absolute fraud. You're gonna absolutely cook it. Like every time Al Hilal are playing, I know you're gonna be there just to watch Kim Min-jae just frustrate the hell out. Because you know, bro, because you know Zir, right? As much as he crashes out when Bayern are playing, he crashes out crazy when Al Hilal are not doing their thing. So imagine he already doesn't like Kim Min-jae, and now he's playing for his hometown club. Oh my days, man, bro. The content will be elite. I'm telling you guys right now, man. But I don't think it's gonna be there. I mean, to be fair, I'll say that, but listen, they do have a defender who's retiring soon, so maybe they could need a defender, man. You never know. You never know, man. It'll be quality. I hope. Listen, I love my guy, but bro, at the end of the day, I'm a hater. I don't care, man. I want this guy to go there just to troll Zir, because I know Zir is gonna absolutely be fuming if that happens. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But even if you guys do sell him, are you guys looking at any defenders? Because we did talk about Schlotterbeck, but you don't like Schlotterbeck, do you?
No. So apparently, like there's a couple things. So they're not actually we're looking at Hudson, but they're not actually like naming and not name and shame, but like normally it'd be like, oh, they're looking for an attacking midfielder, such and such is the build, da 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 da. But they're not actually doing that. So apparently we want a left-footed centre back, and then we want someone that can be captain material or a leader.
Okay.
So maybe that's Schlotterbeck. I don't see him as a leader personally, but maybe that's him.
You guys should have gone in for Van Dijk.
Yeah, Van Dijk could. Yeah, he obviously fits that leader 1,000.
That is such a that is such an opportunity missed. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, but why would he leave Liverpool to go to?" Guys, the guy is about to win his second league title. Do you think that if Bayern Munich didn't offer him a good deal and like a 2-year deal or something like that, he wouldn't have gone? Like, bro, it's not like you're like, I don't know why people are acting like this is a downgrade, him leaving Liverpool for Bayern. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Right? Let me ask you something. Would you take a guy like Rudiger at your club? Because he
Yeah.
is German.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you
I
take
wanted
him.
him when he left Chelsea.
So, okay, so let me ask you this. Let's imagine the scenario. Imagine in the summer, Madrid go and get Saliba and the deal actually happens. Would you go in? Would you go in for Rudiger? Just to have that leader
Yeah,
partner up with someone
what is
like
his
Hoyson if he signs.
what is his injury history like?
I mean, to be fair, he's actually been okay this season. I mean, I think the start of the season he was injured, right? But since he's come back, he's actually not had injuries. I don't remember him being
Yeah,
out.
so
I
he's
think
had
I think he
one
was out around October.
this season.
Yeah,
He's
one
had
injury, right? So since that was that?
Yeah, one injury. He missed 4 games. That's it.
Yes. Yes. So at the end of the day, and also you have to understand, in La Liga, there's more games. I feel like there's less games in the Bundesliga. So, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's a smart move to go for. And it's not even it wouldn't be such a Bayern Munich move to go for, because it's just like, at the end of the day, here's a player who is doing well right now, who's cooking, right? We can go and sign him. You understand what I'm saying, right? Let's sign him let's strike while the iron is hot. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because he's a leader. And if he comes to Bayern, it's like when you know what this reminds me. It's like when you guys signed Xabi Alonso from Real Madrid. Because remember, Xabi Alonso, people were thinking Xabi Alonso was finished. Why? Because he was having injury problems at
Real.
Real Madrid,
Yeah.
right? And let's be real, he was almost surplus to the requirements. When Bayern signed him, it made like many people were shocked when he went to Bayern. Bayern was signing Alonso? But let's be real, he actually did well when he was at your club, right? I think he played like 3 seasons there,
Yeah.
and he actually played well. He was a good experience to have in your midfield, right? That he was an experienced guy in the midfield. He was a great set piece taker, bro. He did his thing. So I think that Rudiger, that's what he would add to your defense. But I feel like it also depends on who you pair him up to it. Because if you have a Rudiger Upamecano, that's a good partnership. Or a partnership of Hoyson and Rudiger, where you have experience and young player. I mean, what do you say about that?
Yeah, I would obviously take Rudiger, of course. I would. When we've had the likes of Eric Dyer at this club, I think you would take anything. But yeah, no, of course I'd take Rudiger. Yeah, no, I'd have to be an idiot to say otherwise. Even though he is a Real Madrid scumbag, I would take him. And yeah, I think if we got the current Upamecano back,
Yes.
then we'd be cooking with those two. And it would expose Upper as well. I think, like if there's still a lot of people that don't believe he's good enough, and that's fair enough. But for me, it would expose him, because if it shows that Rudiger's a certain level, he's a brilliant centre back. If he was to then show up Upper and say, you know what, Rudiger's this level and Upper's down here, then for me personally, that is like that's just showing the levels. So that's how I see it personally.
100%, 100%. But yeah, I do want to quickly touch into Barcelona, because obviously we are playing this weekend, right? Copa del Rey final. It's El Clásico time. I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't like El Clásico, man. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I get confident until like the game is just about to come up, and I'm like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, we are on course to potentially win our second trophy this season, right? We've already bagged one of the domestic trophies already. So this is the big domestic trophy in Spain, right? And look, at the end of the day, I could potentially be doing a treble on this guy's head top. Imagine, Liam, right? I could potentially be beating Madrid to 3 trophies this season directly. I could potentially beat them, because I've already beaten them in the cup final, right? In the Super Cup final, right?
Yeah.
And I'm playing them in the final in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I could beat them there. and we are playing them very soon in the league, which would potentially be a title decider if we beat them, right?
Yeah.
So I could potentially beat them for 3 trophies, and I could potentially win the Champions League, bro. These guys are living in a nightmare. But look, I know a lot of Barca fans are very, very confident about the game. They think that we're gonna get the dub, right? Many people are very, very they're overly confident about the tie, right? And look, am I confident? Do I believe we can win? Of course, I believe we can beat Real Madrid. I mean, if the last 2 games have proven to me anything, is that we seem to know how to play against Ancelotti. You understand what I'm saying? Right? But even with all of that being said, and with the way Madrid have been playing recently, it's El Clásico. And the thing with El Clásico is, I've been through these games where Madrid have not been good, but they always turn up when Barcelona are in town. You understand what I'm saying? And let's be real, Bayern, it's not like these guys need any motivation to play us. Number one, you've been beaten twice, right? You've been beaten twice this season already. And the team, Barcelona, are on the verge of winning a treble, and you could potentially aid them to winning that treble if they beat you guys in the weekend. Like the thing is, there's so many things that they need to play for. They need to play for pride, but also they need to play to make sure that they don't give us the trophies. Because you can rest assured, if we win all of these trophies that we're in this season, bro, we are gonna absolutely let them know. Because let's be real, in the summer when they signed Mbappe, they were supposed to be as good as we are right now.
Yeah.
Everyone expected them to be what we're doing right now.
Destroying teams, yeah.
Right? Everyone expected us to be where they are, how they're struggling. And people expected them to be where we are. But that's the thing, man. Football is not played on paper. I've always said this. Football is not played on paper. You can have all the best team in the world. And I've said it with Madrid. When Madrid tried to do the Galacticos thing, they actually shoot themselves in the foot. It's actually when they're smart with their signings that they actually become scary, because they actually buy players that they need, and not players that is going to buy, sell, get short sales and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? But I'll tell you this, Liam. The last 2 times we played these guys in the Super Cup, in the Copa del Rey Final, we lost both. Last time they beat us was, I think, in 2014. 2014, yep. Gareth Bale's goal, that famous goal that he scored, right? That was the last time we played them in the Copa del Rey Final. And before that, it was in 2011. And the funny thing is about that 2011, Liam, is we were on the verge of doing another treble after we did the sextuple into 2009, because that was 2011, right? Yeah. So in 2009, we did the sextuple. We were about to do another sextuple in that season, right? And we were about to play the treble, and it was actually them that beat us in the cup final, Copa del Rey final, right? To actually stop us from winning the treble. So this is why I'm saying they have a lot to play for. They're not going to come into the game thinking, it's all in the bag. It's not, man. Like, I'm confident, but I am not arrogant enough to think that these guys can't hurt us. But obviously, from the guy watching from the outside looking in, what do you think about this game? What do you think about the match in general? And who are you predicting to win this game, in your mind?
Yes, obviously, it's a one of those games where you just never know, like, what's going to happen. Even you've said it, as a fan of, one of the clubs that are, involved in the El Clásico, you just never know what's going to happen. Is it going to be a close game? Is it going to be a smash from either team? Is it going to be a dead rubber game? You just never know. So,
yep.
For me personally, I can just see Real Madrid winning it, because the only reason I would say that is for some reason in football at times, your team can just be terrible, and then out of nowhere you just pull off some sort of miracle. The likelihood is, if I was to bet my life on it in that aspect, I would say the Barcelona are going to win. But look at Man United. No one give them a chance. In some of their seasons
against City last season. Yep,
exactly. And they beaten City, who obviously have won the Champions League on in that reign. And, they've beaten them to FA Cups and so on and so forth. So, yeah, for me personally, if I was to put my life on it, I would say that Barca are going to win it, because I feel more confident in that. But I can just see something happening with Real Madrid winning it, to be honest with you. So yeah, like for me, I would predict that Real Madrid are going to win, and then you guys beat them in the league to win the league. So then you're 1-on-1. If that makes sense.
Nah, you know what? That's actually not a terrible prediction to make. Because here's the thing. I feel like certain people, they're going to be looking at the form and they're going to think, well, form tells us that Barcelona have Ancelotti's number, which is true. All right? At the end of the day, we have, but do not ever get it twisted. We have our own problems, first of all. We won't have Lewandowski in the game. Lewandowski is out for the final. Alejandro Balde, who's our best fullback, is out. So, and he actually cooked the last 2 times we played them, Balde. In the Super Cup, bro, he absolutely cooked them and scored a goal. I think he got like a goal and 2 assists in that game. So he'll be a huge miss, right? Because when we hit them on the wing, on the fullback position, when we have attacking fullbacks going forward, they actually get cooked. But I'm hoping that we start Hector Fort in the game against Madrid, against them, because I don't want to see Gerard Martin at all. But truth be told, I'm confident, but I am not overconfident. That's the best way I'll put it. Yeah. Do I believe we're going to win? I'm obviously going to predict that we're going to win the game, right? Oh, it's not 2 assists. My bad. I'm sure he got an assist though. I might be wrong, but he scored a sick goal in that game. I remember. But I'll say this to you, Liam. Right? It is worrying, because you're right. They do have a lot to play for. They have nothing to play for. That's the thing. This game is everything they have to play for. But really, the whole season, they're 4. I mean, to be fair, they're only 4 points away from us in the league. So it's not like they're completely out of it. Like Will would make you believe, right? They're not completely out of it. However, it's still, they're in the backhand. So this is a good opportunity for them to win something. Because let's be real, if they don't win this trophy, they'll probably go trophyless, and that would be crazy to think at the start of the season, right? Yeah. So they need to do something. I mean, listen, I'm going to obviously predict us to win, but I am not predicting a big scoreline. If anyone thinks that we're going to play them and give them another big beating down, and listen, I would love to. Don't get it twisted. I would literally cook Will all week if we beat them and if we embarrass them. I mean, I would love to, man. That's the dream, but it's very unlikely to happen. I can see us winning probably maybe like a 2-1 potentially, right? Yeah. But I mean, I'll have Ferran Torres on up front, man. It depends on if he decides to have a shooting boost that game. And to be fair, in the Copa del Rey, Hansi Flick has actually trusted Ferran Torres in the Copa del Rey, and he's been cooking. In the last game against Atleti, he scored the winner away. So, yeah. So hopefully, he can have his shooting boots in that game too, man. Absolutely. But I mean, look, I do want to actually get into this, because this is something that recently came out like literally before I was coming home, right? So apparently, the first bid for Muller has actually come in for Muller. I mean, not a bid from another club to Bayern Munich, but apparently there's a club that's actually offered a contract to Muller. Apparently, it's FC Cincinnati, like the first club to actually offer him a deal, and apparently he's rejected. Now, I don't know if I'm correct or wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was it you or was it Steve who said that Cincinnati might be in for Muller? Because I think you guys might have a partnership with Cincinnati, right? FC Cincinnati.
We got a partnership with LAFC.
Okay, I got you. I thought it was Cincinnati, but Cincinnati are the first club to offer. I mean, that's a strange one. I didn't know Cincinnati were trying to get players. Like, I mean, I didn't think he would go, but he's basically rejected them. That's. I mean, at the end of the day, he's gonna get options. I feel like LAFC will be after him, obviously, because they do have that connection with Bayern, and also I can see these guys coming in for him, LA Galaxy, right? That would be great. But do you think there's an opportunity do you think there's a chance he might retire at the end of the season? He might just decide to just instead of just leaving and going to another club, I might as well retire.
Maybe,
because remember, Robin did something similar. Because do you remember when Robin and Ribery left? Because Ribery left, I think he went to Fiorentina, and Robin at the time did not confirm that he was retiring, but I think around the start of the new season, he just confirmed, he was done. Do you remember?
Yeah, because he went back to his boyhood club, didn't he?
Yeah, he retired and then unretired. Do you remember? He retired for like a season and a half, and because Groningen had like an injury crisis, he came back, right, during the injury crisis, and I think he got injured, bro. I think in like 2 games or something like that. Crazy, but I mean, it's we'll see what happens with that for sure. But we're gonna talk about this also, man. Obviously, when we did the show last week, you predicted to beat Hoffenheim, and your prediction was bang on. You said you wanted a 4-0. Guess what? Your club turned up and they gave you a 4-0 on your birthday. So listen, man, great birthday gift from Bayern Munich. Appreciate you guys for that, right? Making my guy happy on his birthday. But they actually got better because the next day, Bayer Leverkusen dropped points.
Yeah.
And is it safe to say that if you guys beat Mainz in the weekend, that's it? Or does that mean that you just need a draw and then after that?
So we need to win and they need to not win. So if they lose or draw, we win the league.
Okay. I mean, but you know, it's Mainz in the weekend. Now Mainz are actually fighting for Champions League, aren't they?
They're a good team, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So is there an opportunity? Is there a chance they could shock you guys? Because they do have something to play for as well. I mean, you guys are playing at home, but do you think your players are just gonna want to just finish the job? Like guys like Harry Kane, they just want to get that first league title. They're just gonna like, all right, nah, man, screw this. When I'm not waiting any longer. I've been waiting for too long.
I would hope so as a fan, but you just never know with these. Yeah. You know, like you think that they were going to turn up against Dortmund at home, and the last 2 seasons they haven't. We've been outplayed both games, so you know, you would hope in that aspect, but you just never know with these lads. You know, sometimes they turn up, sometimes they don't, which is really frustrating, obviously. But yeah, like for me, you just got to go and finish the job now. Like, don't worry about the Leverkusen game. Of course, us fans will, you know, because we want to win the league. You know, lifting it on Saturday would be amazing. That obviously, you know, that would be absolutely amazing. But at the same time, just focus on what you can actually control. You know, get the win. That's all we need to do. If Leverkusen win, cool. We go in the next game to win the title then, because like, all we need is a win and a draw, and for them to drop points. So that's how I see it. Just do you know what you need to do, and then you know.
And I think also the thing that I forgot to mention is that the game is very early. I mean, obviously over here it's around 9:30 a.m. So that's like 2:30 in England.
Have to, yeah.
You have two, right? And you guys start at the same time as Leverkusen, so potentially, depending on what happens in the game against Augsburg, for them, they're crazy. Like you guys will literally be hearing the results while you guys are playing. So anytime let's say Augsburg score, you know the stadium will go crazy.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching both games, most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, I mean, we'll see what happens. But what are you saying about this game against Mainz?
Again, get the job done. That's what needs to be done. You need to go and get the job done. Like I just said, you need to control what you can control. Score-wise, I do think they will score, unfortunately. I'm going to say that Bayern will score 4 again, but I'm going to say 4-2.
4-2. Okay, just going to get the job done. Do you see Harry Kane maybe getting a hat trick or something just to seal the deal?
I don't know about a hat trick, but he definitely will score. Most definitely will score.
I feel like this game he's going to, for some reason, I just feel like he's going to turn up because he's going to know, bro, I'm about to win my first fucking trophy, man. So I can't wait any longer. I've waited for too long. What's that?
That wouldn't surprise me if he was to score like 3 goals, 3 assists or some shit.
Yeah.
Right. Like, where was this versus Inter, you donkey?
That's what I'm saying, man. At the end of the day, listen, he couldn't get the job done against Inter, but this is your moment to get it done. This is your moment to get it done. But yeah, man, listen, at the end of the day, man, we'll see what happens. You guys could potentially be celebrating a league title, man. And listen, at the end of the day, it's always great, man. People always like making fun of the Bundesliga, but listen, man, until you learn to win league titles, you can't really understand the life, man. You feel me? All right, these guys. It's not Bayern's fault that they're so good in their league. Maybe the rest of the league should turn to. I've always said this, right? People always say, "Oh, it's a farmers league." In my head, I'm just like, hey, listen, it's not Bayern Munich's fault that the rest of the league have not fixed themselves to make sure that they give Bayern Munich a good competition.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich are just doing their job. Like, I don't understand this. I'm like, bro, it's like me being a Barca fan. Like, how is it my fault that the rest of the league are not doing their job? Right? It's not like Barca are the first team to win the league. Like Atletico have won it, Valencia have won it, Deportivo have won it. So other teams, so we know other teams when they get book their ideas, they actually win the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Bayern Munich haven't had other teams. Like last season, we had Leverkusen win it. We seen Dortmund win it, Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, Werder Bremen. Like, bro, other teams have won the Bundesliga. It's about getting your shit together, man. If you don't get your shit together, that's what happens. I mean, look at this season. This season is like, for me, the perfect example. Bayern Munich has not even been good, and they still won the league.
Yeah.
That is the thing. You see, it's things like this, then you look and you're like, well, how can you blame Bayern? Because Bayern have not been good. If there was a good team in the league, they would have probably not even won this league title. But there's no good teams. Leverkusen have completely fallen off this season. And they've been close the whole season to them. Even though they've been bad too. Right? But yeah, man. But listen, Liam, tell the people what's coming up on your channel, bro.
No, 100. Yeah, so I'll be doing the press conference reaction and preview tomorrow, or today for me, whatever you want to say. And then on Saturday we will be obviously doing the stream. I will be watching both games. It will still be a Bayern watch along, but I will be obviously keeping an eye on the other game until Leverkusen score a couple of goals if that's the case, and then obviously turn it off. But yeah, we will be streaming that. And then on Sunday, I'll be streaming the women's game. We are 8 points clear, women's team, 8 points clear in our league. So hopefully that means we're going to win the league then. And then the following week, we've got the final of the DFB Pokal for the women's as well. So, from that perspective, it's looking good. And then tomorrow, Friday, on my second channel, I'll be streaming SmackDown. Watch along.
All right, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe, guys. The link is already pinned, guys. Warrior J has already done the work. He's actually put the wrestling through Bayern View Wrestling in there as well. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to both of Liam's channels, guys. The Bayern View and the Bayern View Wrestling, guys. Make sure you guys go subscribe to both of them, guys. But listen, this has been another episode of the FCB show, guys. Very late today, guys. I know, guys. I am sorry. That is on me, guys. I've been very, very busy all day, guys. But listen, you guys knew I was always going to turn up, guys, because listen, I already missed out on 2 ballers I see earlier today, so I was like, nah, man, we have to have the FCB show today somehow, man. But Liam was kind enough to wait. But big up to every single one of you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Zia should be back next week. He's just like me. He's been busy as well. I think he's like doing things with college or something. So he's been very, very busy. But listen, big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys like the video. Let me see who's live. Let me see who's live. I'm gonna redirect to somebody. Let's redirect to somebody. All right. But yeah, man, big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, guys. All right, with this stream, we'll be redirecting you guys to League Gunners channel, guys. I'm gonna be redirecting you guys to League Gunners channel, guys. Make sure you guys go put Omar BYT rate in the comment section below. Big up to every single one of you guys. This has been episode 5 of the FCB show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Bayern View, and peace, you guys. Omar BYT raid to League Gunner coming up. Big up to you guys, man. Take care.